Well, good morning, guys, and welcome back to Weininger Racing. Well, in the past couple of days after work, I did a little bit of work on Rallybug. And as you know, I've been working on the cargo area here. The last video I did was this piece here. And so one day after work, I went ahead and I cut this piece and went ahead and bent it. That bending went a lot better than last time. I don't know if you guys watched that video. You should go back and watch it, but it was sure a struggle to get this 3-foot wide piece bent. Now this one here, I had to help the brake a little bit with my big gut up against it and pushed it, but once I got the bend started, the brake actually took care of that. So I put that piece in there, trim this edge here to follow the cage, and then yesterday I cut these two pieces to totally block off and make a compartment out of this area. Anyways, you know the word. So one thing that I'm kind of struggling with, I don't know which way I want to go here. As far as these kind of side pieces here, if I go, because what I did was I welded a tab to the cage there to bolt it to, and I could basically go straight across here, because one thing I noticed, it does seem to come up a little high, and what it's also doing is blocking this pretty trick looking fabrication for the top shock mounts here. So I might want to expose those to the backside here, so people that are admiring Rallybug could actually see that fabrication. So I kind of thought, well, I could go ahead and cut an angle going down like that, or just go straight across. So I'm looking for a little help from you guys in the comments. Go ahead and tell me what you think I should do with that. I am leaning towards going straight across, because that will totally expose the shock mounts. Now for today, what I'm doing and I started working on was a template for the glove box. Right here, I had some card stock in my office from back in the day. I used to print business cards for my company. And so I got that all cut out of cardboard, or the card stock, to the shape that I want for that glove box. Now, I'm gonna have to make a portion of it rigid here, because it's not going to open up against the cage. So there'll be a line across there that'll just be screwed and tied in there. And then I got myself some I got a piano hinge that there's already holes across here, and I can utilize those holes and mount it to the door I build and get that going. Then I need to build a box out of sheet metal. Now this is the stock strap to actually hold the original box in there, and I'm probably not going to use that. I'm thinking that the material that Volkswagen used was like a more like a cardboard type material. I don't know what you would call that, but it wasn't made out of metal. So since I'm going to make one out of metal, I could use this area here, shoot some screws down into here, and maybe somehow those two holes at the top there. So I'm going to make that box, set it in there, and figure out how I'm going to mount that. But that's one thing I want to get done today. I got this speedometer mounted. I had a speedometer, and what it is lacking is the cable. And I'm like, that was pretty gummed up in there, so I went ahead and I cleaned that out, and that rotates fine and everything. So I think all I need is a cable that will come out of the speedometer. Hopefully I can get my son to hook up the wire connections. This is the fuel gauge, but there's also some light bulbs that go in there. And that'd be really cool if we had that tied into the circuit of the light, so when you pull the lights on, the speedometer lights up. and the speedometer cable, well, here is the other end of it right there. So it basically goes through the hub, through here to a cap that has a little square cutout, and it basically just goes off of the rotation of the tire to tell the speedometer how fast you're going. So anyways, I'm going to get to work here. I'm going to cut that door out of aluminum. I got my piece right here, so I'll get that cut out and set that in there. Then I'll bring you guys back as the day progresses, and let's get that glove box put together today and get a little bit further along with the interior. We want to, I don't know if we're going to put a stereo across here. My son said something about a sound bar that is basically Bluetooth, so you don't even have to mount anything to the dash. So I can utilize that area for gauges. I do want a pressure gauge and oil temperature gauge and all that kind of stuff. So somehow I'll get that dash finished up. But today it's all about the glove box. So I'm going to get to work, and I'll bring you guys back when I get some work done. See you later. Well guys, welcome back. Now, the word I was thinking of for the glove box from Germany or wherever they make them was composite. It was a composite material. I say cardboard because I couldn't think of that word. So anyways, just wanted to clarify that. Now, I went ahead and I built this extremely cool looking glove box door, but I came up with a problem after I secured it to the piano hinge, and I mark and I drill holes back here. But the problem that I have with it, when it goes to open, it wants to run in. It doesn't actually open because of this metal all the way across there. You open it up, it pivots up here, swings. I got a 1/2 inch of plate underneath the pivot point, which wants to go backwards, and it can't go backwards because of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut a slit all the way across there. Now structurally I'm not worried about it. We got the structure of the hinge, and there's quite a bit of metal right there. But there's going to be an opening underneath here that you won't be able to see, because I'm going to start it as far back as that is. See that? There's probably a 1/16 of an inch there. But I need to have room when this thing comes down, because you can see that pivot point comes out a 1/2 inch. That pivot point's going to be stationary onto this, and that piece of aluminum plate has to be able to swing in and underneath. So this job's turning out to be a little bit bigger than I thought, but I'm going to end up making it work. I'm probably going to have to wait till tomorrow to do the actual box, because this is probably, to make this perfect, is going to take probably about an hour. And I've been thinking about a latch, and what I want to do, get that in there, is out of this diamond plate material, I'm going to build a little lever that you rotate down and you pull, and that'll pull the door open, close it, and rotate, so that will end up catching underneath here. So there's a few little technical things that need to get done in order for this door to function. It's going to take a little bit more time, but I'm going to get to that, and then tomorrow I'll be doing some sheet metal work and building the actual box. So I'm going to get to work, and as it progresses, I'm going to bring you back, and you'll be able to see that functioning door and that latch. So It's going to be pretty cool, but it's going to take a little bit of work. I didn't think about that pivot point and how it's set back, and the actual 1/2 inch of plate that will end up having to go underneath the Volkswagen metal there. So anyways, I'm going to get to work, bring you guys back, and it's going to be a functioning door when I do come back. We'll see ya. Alright guys, well, I got a little further along here, and well, let's check it out. One thing that's going on is it's only opening up this far. And what I discovered and thought of, what's kind of neat is, because of this little, the bottom of the plate is flat, but the body kind of comes up a little bit right there. What's neat about that is it's kind of spring loaded there. Kind of holds itself in place. Now I'll probably have to do some kind of latch at some point. But the way I'm going to get this to open up all the way is put the hinge on the bottom. Because what it's doing is it's binding on what it's mounted to. You see how it's tweaking that right there. So what I'm going to end up doing, I'm not doing it today because it's getting hot and I'm about done for the day. But I will end up welding a piece of flat bar across there, taking out that flimsy piece there. Because you can see it'll end up breaking there, breaking back there if it keeps working on that thin piece there. Give this a little pull up like that, snaps into place. I like how that works. But what I don't like is how it's binding. But if that hinge was actually mounted on the bottom of that, then it wouldn't be binding, it would open up all the way. So I'm going to change that tomorrow. Now, yeah, I will probably just end up welding a piece of flat bar across there and have to re-drill the holes and do all that. But after that, that door will be working fine. I hope we still have this kind of spring-loaded thing, because that's kind of neat how it'll just stay in place, just like giving it a little pull up, and it goes there, and it doesn't open up unless I want it to. So that's kind of cool. Now it does look awesome. I do like the way it looks, but the mechanics of it, we still got to work on that a little bit. I had, see these Allen head screws, I had 5 of those and I need 6. So I'm going to pick one up because I like the way that looks also. So it all turned out cool. I like it. But like I said, the mechanics of it is going to need a little bit of work tomorrow. And get the actual box made tomorrow. Probably bring it out about this far or so. So there's plenty of room to put stuff in there. But that's enough for today, guys. I'm done. It's hot. Tune in tomorrow and we'll finish up the glove box tomorrow morning. Like and subscribe to the channel. And again, I do want to hear from you guys. I got 2 options on these back wings here to the cargo area. I can either go straight across right here, and that'll expose that kick-ass looking shock mount, or go down at an angle. I don't want to leave this corner here because someday someone will end up with stitches there. So it's either going to come down at an angle or just go straight across at this elevation and expose that shock mount. So go ahead and leave a comment, like and subscribe, and tomorrow we'll be back on Rallybug. Have a great day, everybody.